Hello everybody, it is yours truly, Yellow Jacket. I was scrolling on YouTube a little earlier trying to find a video of really bad takes on Deep Rock Galactic. And it took a little bit of digging, but I found one. Now this isn't just any bad take on Deep Rock Galactic. This is an objectively shit take on Deep Rock Galactic. This is probably the worst take on Deep Rock Galactic I've ever seen. And I haven't even seen the Steam reviews on Deep Rock Galactic. I bet the negative Steam reviews are even worse. But anyway, we're gonna dive right into this video. There's gonna be a lot of cutting in this video, because most of this video is fucking filler. I had to watch the whole video just to see 5 points be made that just dumb down to you being just absolutely shit at video games. So, let's dive right into this terrible review.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's no real plot in Deep Rock Galactic, and this is where the game loses major points right from the start. We're all different, but I'm a gamer who needs a reason to play. I love my stories, and I love character arcs. Deep Rock Galactic didn't even have a crumb of a story. I know the game really focuses on multiplayer and teamwork, but it would have been great to play a simple 5-mission story arc that details why you were on these planets digging for precious jewels. Just have that as an option, and the game becomes much more enjoyable for gamers like me.
Okay, first of all, if you had story in Deep Rock Galactic, it would probably sour this game even more than it does with your shit review on this game. First of all, Deep Rock Galactic does have a story. Deep Rock Galactic has a very simple story on why you are on the core of Hoxes in the first place, because you work for a soulless mining corporation that is meant to harvest minerals for your own personal gain. Or I guess company gain. You don't get a lot out of it. If there was a story in this game, which there is, because there are literal arcs in this game with, like, season events, season arcs with, like, the rivals come into the Hoxes to try and take resources from it themselves, which, you know, we can't have that. The lithophage infecting the planet with some kind of, like, weird spike rock pox. And the core stone event, which, like, brings up these weird alien creatures from really deep below. And yeah, that's it's a pretty simple story, but it's used to set the narrative of where you are, why you're doing everything. This guy, it goes on to say that he wants, like, a plot arc with character arcs and stuff, when in reality you don't need all of that. This is a live service game, and if you did have a story, it would needing to have a climax. You would think it would have a climax, which for a live service game, a climax is the last thing you want in your video game. First of all, if there was a story in Deep Rock Galactic, you would have to be hit with cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger, back to back to back, like you're getting fucking pounded by P. Diddy. Because obviously, you can't have a climax in a game which is live service. First of all, I hate Fortnite. But imagine if you were playing Fortnite one day and you were on the final, you didn't even know you were on the final season, and then they finally climax the story, and then they just fucking kill the servers. Like, that would make the game even worse, because you can't play it anymore. That would be so fucking stupid. You would have to be hit with, like, the most non-story ever to actually have a complete narrative that this guy wants. I didn't know we were reading a fucking book here. You have to have story in every single game, I guess. But I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation, but he also dumbs down points for the game, like, right off the start. He says he dumbs down major points for the game, which, spoiler alert, his final review for the game was 5.8, which is an absolute, like, horrid review. You cannot say Deep Rock Galactic is a 5.8 game. You, my friend, just have shit taste in video games. If you were expecting story, you shouldn't be playing Deep Rock Galactic. You can't shit on a game for not having something that doesn't even fit in the same genre.
I give this game an 8 out of 10.
See, that's a good review right there. But then the tiger chainsaw here just absolutely shits on it. I just want to leave this part in the video because I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
An 8 out of 10? Are you kidding me? You must have had a lot more fun than what you were letting on when we were playing this game, because all I heard during it was bitching and moaning about how this game sucks. To start the game off, there's a tutorial, but I'm not sure it's a very good one. In fact, I got lost during the tutorial, and that may have been a sign of things to come.
Okay, sorry, my battery got in the way there. I wanted to pause that a little earlier on. How do you get lost in the tutorial level of Deep Rock Galactic? I was even telling my dad this because he plays Deep Rock Galactic. He plays it more casually than I do. I play Deep Rock Galactic like every single day. Like I'm like a ninja with fucking Fortnite. You know, like the ninja guy that plays Fortnite. I'm ninja with Deep Rock Galactic. I'm on that shit like a Junkrat to a glue trap. But anyway, how do you get lost in the tutorial level? There are no branching paths like in the other caves. The only way you could get lost in the tutorial level is if you turned around and forgot that you turned around. You can't get lost in the tutorial level, and you only have to go halfway back of where you came for the extraction event. This just seems like he's nitpicking.
An otherwise unfriendly environment. Other tools like the 3D scanner are not as intuitive as planned. The scanner will create a 3D map of the area that you can rotate, but it only shows what you've uncovered. Half of the game is finding the areas that you can dig through to continue to other portions of the map. I hated this. Absolutely hated it. The scanner was little to no help. I guess the only service that it did was to show where we've already been. I don't have a ton of patience when it comes to those gameplay mechanics, and I was hoping that the 3D map would show you those areas on screen instead of having to go hunting for them.
It's an exploration game. It wouldn't be an exploration game if you knew where you had to go all the time. If you knew exactly what was going to be ahead of you, it wouldn't be an exploration game. Because that's what Deep Rock Galactic is. Like, that's if someone debunked Elden Ring points because you couldn't see everything on the main map. Like, brother, if you could see everything on the main map, nothing would matter. Exploring wouldn't be fun of not knowing what's going to be in the next room. Especially with season events, if you knew exactly what path you should take, the other paths that you could take that could lead to, like, maybe a season event that aren't usually shown on the map when you come across them, like the Core Stone, the Communications Router, maybe the Lithophage missions. I haven't played Season 3 in a while. But you wouldn't go through all that extra effort to get all the stuff out of the cave because you would know exactly where you would need to go. I don't know, I feel like you just suck at exploring.
Never excitement of finding a new area to dig through. It was always, oh thank God, I don't have to spend another 45 minutes searching and running around in circles.
You know, the terrain scanner was made exactly so you don't get that lost. You can't run around for 45 minutes not knowing where to go when obviously the indicator is saying that you're supposed to go that way. There's still a little bit of leeway to show where you're supposed to go instead of just throwing you in the middle of the map and saying fuck off.
The missions that we played varied in goals, but the objectives typically were the same. Find so much of this material, or find some alien eggs that are hidden in a cave. There was another type of mission that involved connecting pipes to the drilling machines, and this was an absolute nightmare. What you need to do is dig a path to the pipes that can take almost an hour to complete.
It seems like you just have IGN levels of brain cells not knowing exactly what you're supposed to do. See, this is the exact example of dumbing down something to make it sound worse than it actually is. In that mission he just listed, you're actually supposed to set up pipelines from a refinery, that looks really cool by the way, set it up to these weird little pump jack things that you called down earlier. It's a pretty complicated mission that takes some skill. And also, you don't dig around for an hour to figure out where you're supposed to go. There are actual ways to dig faster even when you're not as driller. That's the whole point of having different classes so that you can test them out, to have more different levels all the time. He also goes on to say that all the missions are just the same thing, which I beg to differ. I don't think this guy has any tolerance for video games because he never talks about industrial sabotage or deep scan at all in that entire video because he probably didn't even unlock them. Probably the most complicated missions in the game that aren't just collect something.
It's not an hour of fun either. It's an hour of damn it's, fuck my lives, and you've got to be kidding me's. Missions were pretty tame. The hardest part of the entire game was figuring out where to go or where to lay my pipe. Just wait, the dick jokes get worse. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any
The dick jokes get way worse.
enemies. We mostly fought spiders and insects that were around the caves. Whenever you grabbed an alien egg, enemies would start to come in waves. Almost every 2 minutes, we could count on a new wave. It was annoying, but the guns that we had were
Calling these combat sections in Deep Rock Galactic bad is like calling the combat in Doom Eternal bad, because that would just be a complete lie. Swarms are pretty much the entire point of being in the game, be doing the things in the missions that you're supposed to be doing. It's kind of the whole point. And if you're complaining about combat, then maybe you should start playing Hazard 1, you little low-leveled leaf lover.
somewhat cool. I liked my Gatling gun, but when you are blowing away lame insects, there's not much joy. None of these enemies were very imaginative, but
Calling the bugs in Deep Rock Galactic unimaginative is like calling the different weird soul. It's like calling the bosses in Cuphead unimaginative, calling them uninspired. Like, what are you talking about? Deep Rock Galactic's enemies are probably the most diverse set of enemies I've seen in my entire life. Calling the Deep Rock Galactic enemies unimaginative or uninspired is just a complete lie. Like, yes, it could be your opinion, but you're just wrong. Your opinion is incorrect. I'm so sorry to tell you this. Like, all of the points that you're making is just nitpicking and you being bad at video games because you just suck. You just suck. I'm sorry. You're just really bad at video games. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt on your opinions, but you're just bad, bro. Get good.
the biggest disappointment was the boss fights. On occasion, we might fight one tough enemy every few missions. It didn't last long, and essentially their health was stacked, so these were pretty weak boss fights.
He calls the boss fights weak, but excuse me. He calls the boss fights weak and shows the Core Stone boss fight. Brother, you're fighting a sentient rock. No wonder the boss fight's gonna be boring. And he never brings up industrial sabotage or elimination ever. So what tells me is that he probably got 3 missions in and then got bored and then made this video. He probably didn't even sink that much time into this video because he didn't talk about any of the other missions that were cool, you know? Because calling the caretaker boss fight or the dreadnought boss fights boring and stacked is just a complete lie. You just don't know how to develop a video game, I guess. I don't really know what to say here. I'm just talking now, but you guys get my point.
They didn't add anything to the missions either. No sense of accomplishment, no super cool equipment.
The Core Stone gives you a performance bonus to help you in the progression to give you cooler stuff. The Dreadnoughts are an entirely different separate mission, similar to the Caretaker or the Armor and Heartstone, because you get credits from them. The whole point of playing the game.
As Val stated during one of our playthroughs, this game is for fucking nerds.
Says the guy that was complaining that there's no story in this arcade shooter, complaining about the most nitpicky things, calling the creatures uninspired. Brother, I think you are the nerd. This game is made for gigachads. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. This game is for normal people, like all video games are. You, my friend, are an idiot, a lobotomite. You, my friend, are a mutant.
As was the case, boredom often found us before we found the materials. Oh, Val, come on. Quit playing with the ball sacks.
Okay, so I just skipped that whole part where it was like 3 minutes of him praising the hub world, and then him going on for 3 minutes making a super lame dick joke. And then he actually pulls out a fake prosthetic dick that isn't even censored, so technically he just shows actual, testicles on screen. So, Do with that what you will.
I was told by so many people how fun the multiplayer of Deep Rock Galactic was, but I'm not like most people. My tastes are unique, and the fact that there was no plot, the enemies...
I'm not like other girls. Anyway, this review is shit. He just goes on to say the same thing he was saying earlier. I'll see you later. Fuck this guy, cause he just sucks at video games. Go to bed, you guys.